Hello, welcome or welcome back. It's good to see you. So, I was just sitting there minding my own business and I asked Spirit, just generally, who am I going to read for today? And I expected to hear an astrology sign, but I did not. Out of the clear blue sky, I heard the word domino. And I knew that was the beginning of a channeled message. And for whatever reason, I needed to channel the message first before knowing who it was for. So that's what I've done. The message came through extremely easily and clearly. I have a whole page of notes. And when I finished, I asked, who's it for? And Spirit said, whoever needs to hear it. So this is a timeless reading for whoever needs to hear it. If it resonates or you find it helpful, then it's for you. So I'm going to go through all of my notes first, and then we'll move into tarot and oracle cards and go a little bit deeper. So I am filming this on August 7th, 2025, which means tomorrow is the 8/8 Lionsgate portal, and then the day after that, August 9th, is a full moon in Aquarius. So there's a lot of really big, powerful energy. I feel energy is building. There's something that's building as we speak. No matter when you see this, there's just energy that's building. I'm hearing the word crescendo. It will build into a crescendo. So anyway, the Lionsgate portal energy and full moon in Aquarius energy is definitely influencing this reading right now. So, as I was meditating on the word domino, it then turned into domino effect. And this is exactly what I heard. Play by the rules, let them win. Letting them win in the short term is part of a domino effect that will lead to you winning or succeeding in the long term. Okay? Play by the rules, let them win. Then I heard short game, long game. Somebody that you are dealing with or that you're going to be dealing with, whether this is an individual person or an entity, and by entity I don't mean a ghost, I mean like a business or a company. Take it how it resonates. And if as I go through this, you feel like you don't know who this other person or entity is, but something about it feels significant to you, again, this could be something that happens within the next few weeks, or as with any tarot reading of mine, you can always interpret this as you versus another aspect of yourself. And it is interesting that I said versus. I wouldn't usually talk about parts work in that way because you're never really in competition with parts of yourself, but there is something here that feels competitive or strategic. So maybe this is you again versus a part of yourself. So anyway, but I'm going to speak of it in terms of you dealing with another person or an entity outside of you. So someone that you're dealing with here is playing the short game. Okay, they're playing the short game. You are not. Then I saw a chessboard and I heard, you want long-term success, not short-term reward, so play the long game. I'm seeing an image of a man in a suit sitting at a desk. It's a big wooden desk. So for a lot of you, maybe this is about business or work, something that's unfolding in more of a formal setting, or this could just be Spirit's way of representing the energy of this person. Maybe you're dealing with a specific person in a company, okay? But there's something formal, and I heard the word brazen. Whoever this person or entity is, they talk a good game. They talk a good game. They have some kind of brazenness about them. They're very good at presenting themselves in the way that they want to be perceived. But there is a flaw in their logic. There's a flaw in their logic. That's exactly what I heard. They will make their move and you will see an opening. Okay, this opening is their pitfall. It's going to be some kind of flaw in their logic or deviation in their energy that's going to clue you in to the fact that their strategy or their energy is unstable. And if this is an individual person, I don't necessarily feel like Spirit is saying this person is like mentally or emotionally unstable, although maybe it's more so just, again, like their intention, their logic, something here is just off and they don't even really recognize it about themselves. They are so focused on just winning or succeeding or getting the upper hand, basically as quickly as possible, that they're not taking into account the domino effect. They're not thinking long term. So anyway, Spirit wants you to know that you're going to see some kind of clue. And again, there's this very specific vision of a man in a suit at a desk, and he's talking to you, and he has his hands almost like this. You know, like he's coming off as very thoughtful, very contemplative. He's giving the impression that he's thought everything through. And then for some of you, I'm seeing him like push a piece of paper towards you. Checkmate, I'm hearing. But in that moment, your perception, your inner sight, I don't know, maybe it will be something very literal, something physical, or maybe it will just be a subtle shift in energy that you are intuitively picking up. But in that moment when they think they've won, you're gonna see something and you're gonna know in your gut they actually just set themselves up to lose. And them winning now in the short term is part of what will set you up to ultimately align with what I would describe as your 10 of Pentacles, your long-term, permanent success, wealth, abundance, whether that is material or spiritual, whatever abundance is to you. So I asked, why does the collective need to know this? And I heard Spirit wants you to trust your energy more than theirs. That's basically the whole point of this reading. Spirit wants you to know this because Spirit wants you in that moment to trust your energy more than theirs. If they're coming off as very brazen or they've got it all together, you know, it might be easy in that moment to feel like I'm hearing locked in. It's like if you were just operating on the surface level, it would be easy in that moment to feel like they really do have the upper hand. I really am losing here. I have lost out. They're more powerful than me. They thought ahead more than I did. But that's not true. Your energy knows that's not true. Trust that. So I also saw an image of somebody, flicking a whole chain of dominoes. And when that last one tipped over, I heard game over. I was also getting 222 and 999, as well as the color lavender. And I got the color lavender and I didn't even write it down. And then I went and I got dressed and I was immediately drawn to this hoodie, which is lavender. And then I was like, oh yeah, I got that. I should probably take a note of that. So the color lavender is important. And when I tuned into why, I heard it's because it's a representation of your spiritual strategy. That's the difference here between you and them, or this entity, whatever it is. I don't know. You have a spiritual strategy. You are playing by energetic rules. They are operating purely in the mundane on the surface level. So that's kind of like your edge. last but not least, before we pull cards, oh my gosh. As I was also getting dressed, I saw, again, out of nowhere, there's a lot about this message that's just like out of nowhere. I saw this ring. This is a ring I have had for probably 15 years, and I haven't worn it in about 15 years. It's always been in the back of my mind, but I've never been guided to wear it other than for a few times right when I first was gifted it, like 15 years ago. But it came to my mind, and I couldn't get it out of my mind, and I knew I had to wear it today for this reading. And I actually had to go digging through some boxes. It was packed away. Actually a box in a box in a box. So it wasn't just like readily available. I really had to go digging for it. But it's silver with a turquoise and I believe red jasper stone, and on the edges are dragons. Let's see. So anyway, I feel like maybe turquoise and red jasper are important for you. Also, the energy of dragon is very important or helpful if you feel guided to connect with the energy of dragon. But even more specifically, it feels like wearing the color lavender and also being very intentional about jewelry that you wear, maybe just in general, but also in the specific situation, might be very helpful. I feel like there's well, I'm hearing the word ornament. There's an ornament or a piece of jewelry, a talisman that I'm hearing. I'm hearing that you can have on your person or adorn yourself with that will act as protective and deflective energy, because you don't want to entrain with them. You want to be able to observe them. That's what's going to tip you off. And allow you to see the clue. So maybe you have a piece of jewelry that's coming to you right now that you haven't worn in a very long time, and you might have to go digging for it. I don't know. Take it if it resonates. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the timer. Okay, now that it's been 12 minutes, where do we begin? Here or here? Okay, let's pull some oracle cards from the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck. What is happening? What else do we need to know about the spirit? What do I ask? What else does the collective need to know about this domino effect situation? Nature spirits. Immediately, this just makes me feel like it's tied to working with the elements to help keep you grounded and stable and in your own energy in this circumstance or relative to them. Grounding your energy by working with the elements is what is going to allow you to stay in observer mode rather than getting caught up in I'm hearing their thought forms. Okay, so it's more than just their energy or their aura that you could kind of get lost in or believe, right? I'm also hearing nature sees the truth. You are of nature, maybe working with a specific tree, the element, I don't know, just tree energy, obviously, in this image is coming through. Being very still. Yeah, being very still and very grounded like a tree is going to help you to navigate the situation. You're also just very connected. I'm hearing you're so connected to your intuitive knowing, and that's the difference between you and them. Magic. That's your magic, number 3. And this card is also 39, 12. I was also seeing 1202, something about 1202. Nature magic. Ooh, and it's purple, which is kind of like lavender, right? That also makes me think of the Ace of Pentacles here. Yeah, I mean, it's like you will activate your own opportunity to build wealth over time, abundance, however you define it, by staying grounded in your own knowing, your own body, your own intuition, your own energy. Okay? I feel like showing you both of them together. I don't know why. Because that's really what you're doing here. You're wanting to take the Ace of Pentacles and turn it into the 10 of Pentacles. That takes time. That just takes time. I was just watching a video about manifestation, and somebody was asking if we are God, right? If we are technically like a mini God or a fractal of God consciousness, and we can manifest whatever we want, then can we manifest something happening quickly or immediately, right? Like, can I just poof, visualize having a brand new car and it'll just, you know, appear in my driveway out of nowhere? And the teacher was basically saying, while yes, the law of attraction and the law of assumption is true, there's also, you know, nature's laws that we're operating within and collaborating with, such as gravity. So it doesn't matter if you want to have a baby, right? And you know, wanted to like get pregnant and then have the baby in like 2 weeks flat. It doesn't matter if you want that. That's not going to happen. It's going to take 9 months, right? It's going to take 9 months. So tying that all the way back to what I was saying before, Spirit is saying, trust the natural unfolding of events. It is all happening in your favor. And also, you know, building your Ace of Pentacles into the 10 of Pentacles is something that just takes time. And that's not a bad thing, because it's about who you become along the way. I know that sounds so stereotypical and whatever, but like, it's definitely true. I just looked at the bottom of the deck by accident. Number 7, guides. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like every step of the way in this process, you are guided. And there's something about like frequency. Obviously, this kind of looks like, you know, waves, but I'm getting the word frequency here. You're receiving messages through your capacity to attune to frequency. So it may not be that clue that you get. It may not be this like super obvious thing. Although maybe I'm seeing a pencil. Okay, I don't know. I'm just seeing them, this other person or entity, like twirling a pencil in their hand in a very, okay, it's like they're fidgeting. It's like this person is fidgeting. And so it could be through body language, their body language, but you pick up on that. You're attuned to the frequency of their body language, and you see them twirling this pencil in a way that gives them away. And you know energy is everything. You know frequency is everything. And in that moment, you know you have the upper hand in the long term, even if they win in that moment. Okay, let's go into tarot. I am using the Fyodor Pavlov tarot for you. Look at that beautiful edging. Okay. Show me the energy of this other person or entity. And again, maybe this is a part of yourself. Most of you here probably, you know me well enough to know that my perspective is that tarot is life, and life is a mirror. Right? So with any reading, you can always take it as you engaging with an aspect of yourself. Okay. But if life is a mirror, then usually, even if it is a part of yourself, it's going to be reflected to you externally somehow. Show me this entity or energy, this person who's playing the short game. Their tie is in a knot? Their tie is in a knot? I mean, you have to knot a tie anyway, right? No, something's all knotted up in them. Knight of Coins, which is the Knight of Pentacles. Interesting that he's sitting. In this rendition of the Knight of Pentacles, he's in a wheelchair. But it's kind of like what I was seeing, you know, him sitting at a desk. He's coming off like he's got it all together. He's the one with all the energy. And it doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter if this is a male or a female. It doesn't matter. This is all just the way that they're presenting themselves. Whoever this is, whatever it is, it's presenting masculine. I'm calm. That's what he's saying to me. I'm calm. Yeah, I'm calm. I'm cool. Actually, even more than that, they're presenting as someone who has like a lot of compassion. King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Oh yeah. I mean, it's almost like they're coming off as like they're sorry for you. Or there's an undertone of like, you poor sweet little thing. It's just off. It's just weird. And they're so sure. They're so sure that they have done it. They've succeeded. There's even a kind of warmth in their energy. But tell me why it feels off. This is how they're presenting, but what is the truth of their energy under the surface? And this, oh, hang on. What is the truth of their energy under the surface? Oh. Stop. The Sun with the Page of Pentacles. So they're just all pentacles. They're all pentacles. And I was drawn to the fact that there's a sun on the shield, or sorry, a sun on the shoulder pad thing here of the Knight of Pentacles, and then there's the sun. So this is almost like the sun in shadow, which doesn't often happen, but that's what I feel. It's like, and I just cut on the Lovers. It's like somebody who's so wrapped up in their own energy, they cannot see what's right in front of their nose. Or they're just so, yeah. How would I describe this? They're so full of themselves. I don't mean to be judgmental. I mean, we've all had moments where we're kind of full of ourselves, right? This is just a human experience. I don't know. And if it's a business, maybe this is just, again, just like the energy of it. But this is an entity or a person who's so wrapped up in their own energy, thinking, need to, I'm hearing pat themselves on the back, need to pat themselves on the back or feed their own ego. That they literally cannot see. I'm hearing they can't see the writing on the wall. They cannot see what's right in front of them. They don't have that depth, that spiritual strategy that you have, that attunement that you have, right? So they're presenting as more mature than they actually are, as more advanced than they actually are. They're probably deeply insecure about the fact that they're not truly as far along as they'd like to be. That would be my guess here, well, my feeling, just looking at these cards. So it's not even necessarily something that's very malicious, you know. I don't feel like they're malicious or they're trying to attack you or bring you down on purpose. It's just like, I'm hearing self-fulfilling prophecy. It's just being like, they're just in their own bubble and they're just so consumed with trying to inflate their own ego in the moment, every moment. And you're kind of just like, I'm seeing you kind of like watching them from the side, like totally recognizing what's happening. And you know it's not personal. It doesn't feel personal, like deeply so. So show me the collective's general energy. Ace of Wands. Ooh, yeah. Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Well, this is something that this whole situation is something that you might be really worried about. Clarify the Nine of Swords. This might be a situation that's been, weighing on your mind very heavily. But you are the one that has the upper hand here with this Ace of Wands. This is spiritual connection and spiritual inspiration, movement and action guided by spiritual connection. You have the Ace of Wands. You are the one who has the opportunity here. And this is what will help you. I feel like knowing this is what will help you to cope with maybe even these really fearful thoughts. Clarify the Nine of Swords. It's like, what if they're right? What if they're right? What if they're right? What if I'm failing at this? Four of Swords. This is like, I'm not going to make it. Give me 1 second. Fears for some of you about like sleeping through life or not achieving certain things within a certain time frame. Oh my gosh, this just keeps coming up. The last 3 collective readings, there's been time-related fears. But I just touched upon that too earlier in the reading, didn't I? Fears of missing out. It's almost like the fear that this is my only opportunity to succeed, and if I don't succeed immediately, then that means I never will, something like that. It's just been, Nine of Swords is like dread, either guilt, regret, dread, intense anticipation, like your worst nightmare projected. But the message with the Nine of Swords is always, it's in your head. You are living in your own worst nightmare, like circulating in your own worst fears. It's all in your head. The truth is this. You're the one with an incredible opportunity here. Clarify the Ace of Wands. The Devil. Ooh, oh gosh. This is a very graphic image. I don't know that I'm going to be able to cover the whole thing up here. Just trust me. Let's see. Okay. It's the Devil. It's the Devil. Well, first of all, this is taking me back to the body. Your physical body being grounded in your physical body, paying attention to the situation with all of your senses. Also, again, paying attention to their body language, because body language does not lie. And you're going to pick up on their shadow potentially through their body language. But I feel like this is also something, the energy that you have in your back pocket. You're the one who's secretly in control of the situation, but they don't need to know that, right? So let's get some advice. Let's just clarify the advice. Wheel of Fortune. Let it play out. Just let it play out. 5 of Wands. There's that knot in their tie, and I immediately put my hand to my throat. If this person's wearing a tie, that might also tip you off. The knot on the tie is right up here, right? A knot in their throat chakra. 5 of Wands. Oh, there's more naked people here. Oh gosh. It's the 5 of Wands. It's like it's all gonna unravel itself. Honestly, the less you do, the better. The more you just watch, the better. The more you practice recognizing their energy versus yours, the better. Let's pull an oracle card. Because I'm hearing they're going to come up against their own demons. It's kind of like karma, I guess. And it's not, you don't have to do anything to make that happen. Soulmate. And air at the bottom of the deck, communication. Number 28, what was this? 49. And 28. Certainly the way that you communicate in this situation has a great deal of weight. And I feel like Spirit does want you to speak from your heart. But speak from your heart, understanding the bigger picture. Let's get a journal prompt for you from my journal prompt deck, the Codex of Questions, and then we'll get a closing message. These journal prompts, as well as several others, will be in the description box. Be sure to check them out. They'll help you to process everything and take your inner work a little bit deeper. What is your favorite quote and why? Oh, it's been a while since that one has come up. What's your favorite quote and why? Something about that quote might anchor you in the moment or help you to retain a bigger picture perspective. My favorite quote, well, I have many favorite quotes. But one of my favorites is the one on my wrist here. In the beginning, it's always dark, from the Never-Ending Story. That Ace of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles. This is the beginning. When it seems like something is closing out, darkness is falling, everything seems dark, that's actually the beginning. When it seems like you have lost, that's the soil for your beginning. What does the version of you who already has what they want believe about themselves and about life? If you knew for a fact it would all work out perfectly for you, in exactly the way, in a more perfect way than you could imagine, if you knew that for a fact, What would you do today? What would you think today? What would you focus on today? And what are you fed up with? Okay. All right, let's get a closing message from the Alice the Wonderland Oracle. It's literally called Alice the Wonderland Oracle. I don't know why. Closing message for the collective. Dragon again. Dragon's coming through again. Do not drink poison. Do not do things you know are bad for you. Number 8. Just flipped out of my hand. You know what to do. Okay. Okay. Quote, if you drink much from a bottle marked poison, it is almost certain to disagree with you sooner or later. Unquote. You deserve to treat yourself well. You deserve to inhibit. You deserve to inhibit what is not good for you. You do not need to try what is bad for you to know that it is not for you. So when this card comes, Wonderland is advising you to no longer do what is not in your best interest. You have a habit or two that you would do well to let go of, maybe something you're fed up with. You have people in your life that you keep giving time and space to, despite knowing you will suffer afterwards, that you will again be upset and disturbed by their harshness, their unkindness. Poison does not only come in bottles. It comes in the form of others who hurt us, deliberately or even without their knowledge. It can simply be that they are not for you and you are not for them. Poison comes in the form of words which hurt and harm, that fall from your lips or which are spoken about you by others. There are situations you know may hurt or endanger you. There are substances which could be toxic for you and you do not need to have them in your life anymore. When this card comes to you, it is time to eradicate that which can poison you at last. It is not cruel to refuse to hurt yourself. You will be astonished at the energy you will have once you remove these toxins from your life. Divination: avoid toxic situations, people, or relationships. Do not partake in what you know is not best for you. A clean out from your home and pantry of substances, foods, fabrics, anything that is quote unquote poisoning your personal environment, on and on. Okay, so yeah, you get the point. Also, I was like really drawn to the fact that my tripod is super dusty and it was really bothering me earlier. So something about cleaning your home maybe, or I don't know, literally or metaphorically cleaning your space. That might help you to feel more grounded and connected to yourself as well. Yeah, okay, so clearly this person or entity, energy, is not good for you. Not good for you to be engaging with in any serious long-term way. Not good for you to get lost in. Not good for you to entrain with. Not good for you to lose yourself in, okay? So going back to, protection, using some forms of protection through elemental magic, the clothing you wear, the jewelry you wear, paying attention to frequencies, all of it. It's very important, I feel. Okay. I hope this was helpful, or at least thought-provoking. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I would love to hear from you. Again, the journal prompts and all my links will be in the description box. I'll see you again soon. Happy full moon. Bye.